Hello,
On sync
everyone, and
clapping.
welcome to the ninth episode of the F1 Fix. What episode are we
Wow.
on?
Man, we've been doing this for a year and we've got 8 episodes in.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
it's okay.
exclusive stuff.
It's okay. We've only been doing, we've only done eight, but they're all very high quality. Like we've put in so much time and effort into each one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah, that's it.
I think it's
sounds
quality over.
about right.
And it's also about our longevity. I feel like if we kept doing it every week, we would have burnt out by now. So this will go on for the next few years, I'm sure. We have a lot to
Yeah.
talk about today. It is 1 week after the Bahrain race. It was a very exciting race. A lot of people really loved it. Some people loved it, but a little bit less. Some of the drivers did very well. Some of them not so much. And we're gonna go through it all. We want to start with qualifying. How did that go for everyone? Anybody that you guys want to point out?
Um,
Well, for me, I was already like as soon as qualifying started, I was already excited for the season because the it was not like evidently like it was not like Mercedes were on top like very distinctly, you know? So
Mhm.
um and there was a good mix of people performing well like you like when it came down to the top 15,
Yeah,
usually I could predict who's gonna come out, but like this time it was like a complete mixed bag, which was
yeah,
kind of refreshing.
yeah. It was
I
hard
mean,
to tell.
it's also the bottom five. I mean, two of them, Ocon and Vettel. I would not have expected either of those two to be in the bottom five.
Yeah,
True.
Alpine, I didn't know where it was going to fall in terms of the ranking, but Vettel definitely. I mean, he just got unlucky, so
I don't
did
know
Yeah.
not
if
expect
so.
that.
So the thing that kind of confused me was Vettel didn't get a good lap in, obviously, which didn't let him go into Q2. And going into Q2 and beating a Williams should not be that hard. Um, but he still got his 10-second penalty. So I'm just confused as to what he did on that last lap because he ignored the yellows, but somehow still didn't have a good lap. Is that how does
Yes,
that happen?
that's what I'm not sure either. Maybe he slowed down after the yellows because I
But
was thinking the same thing. He got a penalty for not slowing down, but that means if he went full speed and he still got 18th, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
maybe it was not slowing down enough or but there were two yellows, right?
Yeah,
Or
it was a double
Was
double
it
yellow,
was
I
it
think.
not two yellow sectors or a double yellow in one sector? I don't.
I have
What
no
are you
idea
asking?
to be honest. But
Sectors.
I think there were two separate yellow flags. So maybe
Okay.
he slowed down for one, but then did not slow down for the other.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But who
Well,
I,
knows? Like it's early days, so we can't really make judgment based off what's
yeah,
happened so far.
yeah.
But I still have faith in Vettel.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about that because my faith in Vettel is like I will always respect him and love him because that's who I like. I started watching F1 seriously, um, or not seriously because I was a kid, obviously. But my first memories of keeping track of F1 and watching it every weekend was when he was dominating the sport in 2010, 11, 12, 13, whatever it was. That's when I remember like Vettel used to like we used to talk about it as a family and we were just like, oh, who won this weekend? And it's like like there would be no question who won because obviously it had to be Vettel. And then when it wasn't Vettel, everyone would be really confused. So like I don't think like I'm just really worried and confused as to how things have gone so badly for him now because he was the best, right? So like what's happened to all of that?
Wait, so just ignoring the fact of what's happened now, whenever he was winning, you got into F1 and
Yeah.
you enjoyed him winning all the time?
No, I hated it.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. I hated it, but I respected him obviously because he was like, he's like Lewis now. He's the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same, but with Lewis now. And
Yeah.
that's why I was like, there's no way I would like Lewis.
Yeah.
All right.
But
But
Vettel
yeah,
was like an even bigger enemy in the public's eye, right?
yeah, he
Like
was.
people hated him. He was like
But
the
I mean,
villain.
it's hard to compare how much Lewis and Seb were hated in their peaks because even right now, Lewis gets a lot of hate. But maybe it's just because he's more established in the sport that when he's dominating, that he has more of a fan base already. Whereas Seb started dominating like 2 years into his career.
But why? I mean, how much was Vettel as a public character whenever he was dominating? Because I know Lewis does not necessarily controversial, but like he's very public in terms of his Black Lives Matter, veganism, like all the other outside of racing parts of the world, and that also just gets him more hate.
Yeah, I don't think Seb was that involved in kind of the other stuff, or at least I was very young, so I don't remember him like doing anything like that. But I think it was just his thing of constantly winning. I don't think people were very happy with it.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. Like,
But where is it gone? Like, what's happened? I don't understand. Like, why is it just me who thinks that his form is kind of done with, and maybe this should be his final year?
no, well, honestly, like I think as Ferrari, like the team attitude there and the what's it called? The environment there is not very, or doesn't seem very hospitable. Seems very toxic and cutthroat, at least in like from an outside opinion. And I think
Even
after
after
a couple
watching
of
that
years
one
there,
Drive to Survive video, the one episode of Drive to Survive where they film Ferrari. Do you see
yeah,
that
it
one?
just doesn't seem. It
Yeah.
just like when I look at McLaren, they seem so like wholesome and like they seem like a tight knit team. You know, Ferrari just seem like they. I don't know. It just doesn't seem very hospitable there, and I feel like a few years there, my morale would go down so low, and like all these drivers obviously can drive, but like to get that extra performance, you need like it's. I think the extra performance comes from mental, you know, like how determined you are and how ready you are to push and make those moves, you know. And Seb's mental isn't there because at Ferrari, like he was beaten down so low, and the way that they ended things at Ferrari obviously didn't help either, right? So, and it's only the first race at Aston Martin, so hopefully we'll see a resurgence.
Yeah.
I mean,
Down there.
that's what I would hope. But after the qualifying and also the race, whenever he ran into Ocon, it's not like screaming everything's great.
True.
Now it's a lot of your mental state doesn't necessarily have to come from the team, with just like the publicity of the fans and what the fans think, and the fans don't necessarily think very positively of Vettel right now.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see his morale just staying at an all-time low. And
But I feel like a lot of fans are also like, this is a new era for Vettel now that he's in Aston and he's gonna do good now.
Well, okay. So the thing that worried me, especially about that Ocon crash, was that he was adamant that Ocon changed lines, and he was very he was blaming Ocon very, very heavily, even after the post race interview. Like, I don't understand that. Like, he didn't. It was very obvious that he didn't change lines. He was going straight.
Even after the race, he blamed Ocon.
Even after the race, he apologized for crashing into Ocon, but
Yeah,
still
I saw that
was saying he still said that he thought that Ocon changed lines.
No.
Yeah. and that
Did he
Ocon
watch
moved.
the footage? Like,
I don't know. That I don't know. That I don't know. But maybe he didn't. But I don't understand how a racing driver can say that when he was the one that moved behind Ocon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing that worries me the most is the Vettel was brought in to replace Sergio, right? And the least that Vettel needs to do is outperform Sergio in order to at least, like have his um nice one. To at least have the respect of the fans, to have the respect of the team. He needs to be able to outperform Sergio by a little bit.
I mean, outperforming Sergio's
Not
sort
Sergio in a
of.
Red Bull, but I mean like at least outperforming Lance, because like
Yes,
Sergio was
yeah,
outperforming Lance.
that's what I was going to say. It's because although I do think that Lance is a decent driver, he could be good this year. He needs, I think, the Aston Martin, from the way they're sort of run. It for me, it seems that Vettel is their number one driver,
Yeah.
and as public perspective, most people don't like Stroll because his dad owns the team, and if Stroll actually beats Vettel, then he's just
Yeah.
like, why would anyone support Vettel at that
no,
point?
Vettel is done for this season if that happens. Like,
Yeah.
if he
Yeah.
continues what the way he's doing now, and I feel like also part of that is like, oh, I don't think he's blaming himself for the issues. Like, he's not looking
Yeah.
introspectively, because if he, like, for example, that Ocon thing, if he's blaming Ocon for that, then that's clearly like he's shifting the blame to someone else. So he's not like, actively trying to improve himself, because he
Yeah.
thinks stuff is going wrong around him,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, he's not the Charles Leclerc. I am stupid. I am stupid.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
stupid.
Okay, so okay, well, to transition from there, I think that Lance Stroll's popularity has increased ever since Mazepin came into the picture, because everyone's like, okay, Stroll bought his way in, but at least he is in Mazepin.
No, I think,
Yeah.
okay, like, set Mazepin aside, I think Stroll has just become more liked
Yeah,
generally
no, like
in the last.
I like Stroll. I genuinely have nothing against
You know
Leclerc buying
why?
himself.
Because at the start, it was like he was very young. He did not belong in F1, and it was
Yeah,
clear he bought his way into it. But
yeah,
now he's actually demonstrating he's demonstrating skill, and occasionally he has like really good qualities and a really good race and things like that. And
yeah,
competing against Sergio Perez, like one of the better drivers on the grid, like he was not doing bad. So like, I think now that he's proven that he can race in F1, like people are like, okay, he's not there just because his dad paid for it. Like, he does deserve to be in F1. Just
I
initially,
mean,
like,
yeah.
there were
Sorry, you're going.
questions. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight the Mazepin argument, and this isn't because I'm Russian. Um, First of all, I will say that Lando Norris. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Lando Norris supported Mazepin on Twitch. He argued because Schumacher spun. Oh, it's so nice to say Schumacher.
yeah.
Schumacher spun also on the first lap, I believe. Then people should be
Second or
second.
third. Yeah,
Yeah, since he spun, they should also be hating on Schumacher as much as they hate on Mazepin. It's just that
Mm.
Mazepin was unlucky that he hit the wall afterwards, versus
Yeah.
Schumacher went into the runoff area.
yeah.
But then, secondly, I can see Farhan at least liked this post, which is the WTF one of how long F1 debuts lasted. And some of the names, Michael Schumacher only lasted 5 turns. Felipe Massa lasted 1 corner. It's
Yeah.
not like
Not a
unheard
bad
of
crowd
that
to be in.
somebody crashes out or spins out and then crashes on the first lap.
So you're saying Mazepin's gonna be world champion soon?
You never know, man. It's a bit too early to judge. And the other thing is, the Haas last year sucked. the Haas
Yeah.
this year is only going to be worse.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
that's
He,
the thing.
he,
He's
So
given
bad.
the worst car,
yeah.
so you can't blame him that much.
Okay. Here's what I'll say. I was going to talk about how I think Mazepin is getting a little bit too much hate. Let's put aside his off track stuff, like his off track, whatever that is, what it
Yeah.
is, and like that's not part of his on track is what we're talking about, right? I genuinely think people are hitting on him a little bit too much because he came fourth in F2, which obviously is Schumacher came first, so he definitely is better. But it's not like he doesn't know how to drive. Like he knows how to drive, and he will eventually settle into that car. And okay, maybe not even settle into the car, but he will start like being able to put in some decent performances like Schumacher can. We already know that Schumacher can. And yeah, I think people are jumping the gun a little bit too much to hate on Mazepin, and I get it. I get why he's getting so much hate. Like, yeah, obviously he's not gonna be a well-liked figure for a while, but we also have to remember that he is potentially a reason why a team is staying in F1 as well. So without him, we might even lose the team in F1. So, you know, I guess yeah, like it is what it is, and this will always be an F1. So why hate on it so much?
Yeah.
I was watching Rush the other day, and Nicky Lauda came into BRM. He got a seat at BRM because he brought $2 million with him from his. Um, he took out a loan for $2 million because his family is very wealthy, and he told BRM that he wanted a seat, and he will only he will give them the money only if they offer him a seat. So it's not like paid drivers are the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, next
Speaking of
topic.
quali,
Okay, let's go on.
when Ferrari did that one too at the start of Q2, I think that I was like, oh my god, what has happened?
Ferrari
But no,
sandbagging.
that was
Ferrari sandbagging
no,
for
that
a
was
whole year.
actually that was kind of cool to see, low key. And then what was it? Yuki Tsunoda got P1 for like a slight millisecond.
Yes.
That was also kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, for me like this season I can't immediately say like, oh, these people are gonna win and it's always gonna be Merc 1-2.
Yeah.
Which
I
I
think
like.
we can all say that at least we'll be happy with the competition this year. At least
But
in
then
qualifying, we saw that he wasn't exactly 3/10 off. Or was he 3/10? Yeah, he was almost 4/10, I think.
Who?
Verstappen over Hamilton.
In qualifying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 3.5 tenths above or something.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
3.5 tenths. It's finally that there is a chance of like something happening, which is what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and apparently in the race, Max's differential issue cost him 0.3 tenths a lap.
damn.
Oh,
Or
really?
3 tenths a lap. Apparently, that's just what I saw somewhere. But don't quote me on that. No, but if that's the case, then like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I
mean,
mean, it could be the case since last year, I remember the first race there were, I mean, way more issues than it was this year. But it was last year's first race wasn't too much of a prediction in terms of how the rest of the season's going to go. So
yeah. Yeah. So
True.
like yeah, I'm so looking forward to Max potentially beating Lewis, and hopefully we see a different world champion this year. Because that would
Don't
just be
jinx
exciting
it.
to see. I
Just don't
know,
talk
but
about it.
it's so nice to think about. The only thing I'm worried about is like there's what like a voice inside my head saying that Mercedes is still not showing their true pace or something, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, I've just been so used to Mercedes just pulling stuff out of the bag that I still can't tell myself that there's a chance yet. Like, it's still very hard for me to digest that Red Bull is above the level of the Mercedes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been
I-
brainwashed.
I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but watching the Drive to Survive this season,
I didn't
it's
like it.
the Christian Horner, Christian Horner. He just seems like he has such a vendetta against Mercedes. So much like built up resentment against them. And I don't know, I'm happy that he's able to like hopefully this season just like get it all out.
Yeah.
But I just found that really humorous.
Okay, can we talk about one thing about Drive to Survive and Christian Horner? He seemed like he was like paid by them to dramatize stuff more. Because do you remember that one scene where they were talking about who they would sign for next year at Albon or Checo, and he calls Checo while being filmed, and I was like, huh? Like he's like doing this on live, like while he's being recorded, he's gonna tell Checo that he's joining the team. Like it just seemed like Horner just really loves the attention and the drama and like hyping things up, and I don't know. He's a character.
He is. But I saw, what was that? The meme that he's the Karen of F1 because he's always going to the stewards and complaining, calling the manager and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes, exactly.
And I was
Yeah.
like, that's accurate.
Yeah. But I still like him.
But it's funny.
Yeah. I kind of like him. He's cool. He's funny. So I like his hate for Cyril.
Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, Cyril's gone now, which is
Yeah,
kinda
which
sad.
is surprising. He's been
yeah.
around for so long. I didn't even remember that. Jeez.
And
Who-
did
but
he even
who
get
is
his
the-
tattoo?
He
Is he
beats
enough
me.
to know?
I-
I don't know.
No, I asked, did he get his tattoo?
Oh,
'Cause he was
in
meant to
Drive
get
to
the
Survive, they
tattoo.
said that like he was going to get it like in July or something, right? I don't remember what it was, but he was supposed to
Oh,
get it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's supposed to get
Like
it.
this July, so it
I don't know. I might be making that up. Might have just been in my head, or but he hasn't got any yet, and is planning on at some point when the lockdowns are not as stringent, apparently.
okay. Because that
Uh,
was just my speculation. He was like, I'm gonna quit so I don't have to get the tattoo.
Interesting theory.
Good one. Yes.
Wait, so
It's just one of the conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
who's the team principal for Alpine now?
I have no idea.
Alpine.
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 Come on,
sorry.
man.
Alpine.
Alpine.
How do you say it in a French accent?
None of us are French.
Alpin. Alpin.
Alpin.
Alpine.
Alpin.
Alpine.
Alpin.
So
I
bad.
apologize to any French people listening to this.
Oh wait, okay. It's this guy Davide Brivio.
Alpine.
He was I'm pretty sure
Davide.
he was the team principal of Suzuki in MotoGP, and he was really good because he apparently turned that team around from like being one of the worst ones to competing in the top three, even though it was like a really small operation. I remember the Sky people talking about him. He is apparently very, very good at managing teams, and especially, I don't know, in MotoGP apparently he really turned around Suzuki to be like a top running. And who does Lando love again? The main guy, really good.
The
Valentino
green
Rossi.
monster guy.
Valentino Rossi, yeah. So
Oh.
he signed Valentino Rossi, and yeah, they did very well
Oh wow,
together.
that's a good
Ooh.
sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
So yeah, he I think will help that team.
Can I just say, I don't know why, it's like a mental thing, but I could never support Renault just
Me
because
too.
they're Renault. But
Yeah.
now that it's Alpine, I actually really like Alpine cars. Like I really don't like Renault cars on the road, but Alpine cars, they're gorgeous. Like I
I
always
still don't
stop
really
and
like
look at an
Alpine cars that
car.
much. No, I'm not a big fan of
No?
Alpine cars. No, no,
Have you seen it
I'm not.
in the flesh?
no. I live in
I
America.
have not.
Okay, if you
Nobody
need to
has
see
Alpine
one
cars here.
in person. Once you see one in person, your world will change. You will
Really?
like it
I
much more.
just the headlights just look
Yeah.
weird to me.
Yes, I agree. It kind of looks off.
It's a style, man.
Looks like a bug. It looks like a bug. Like I
Yes,
don't know.
it looks like a car that's too small.
Okay, let me
It looks like a
look at
children's
the
car. It looks like a
other
car that should
cars
be
right
electric.
now.
It you know what it looks like? It looks like a Porsche or one of them looks like a Porsche with just two headlights in the front, another two headlights in the front for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. No, okay. I just googled it. I've never noticed those two. I don't know what those are, like the low beams or something
Yeah,
that are there.
Maybe
might be the high
they
beams
look
actually.
like spider eyes with
Yeah,
the other
the car just
headlights.
looks way too small. Like, why is it so small?
There's,
The old Alpine
what's the
looks
old
very
one?
nice, I have to say. The old one looks very
Yeah.
nice.
Uh,
But the new
there's
ones,
one.
the back of the new ones also look pretty nice. It's just the front kind of looks.
The Alpine Sunbeam. That's the one that I saw in London, and I was like, oh,
Mm.
I wouldn't mind driving this one around.
So why? So if you're listening,
Bro, this is like
to us,
100 years old.
yeah, this is very old. Viewers, if you were listening along to us and want to understand what we're talking about, please look up Alpine cars, and the Alpine Sunbeam. The Alpine Sunbeam is pretty sick. I like it. It's a nice car.
Yeah.
But the new Alpines
So
are just not my thing.
Okay, I could get that just from Googling Alpine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. But still much better than a Renault. Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
felt so bad for like, imagine being an F1 driver and it's like, oh, I get a company car. It's a Renault.
Dude,
Renault Clio.
it's so dumb. Because like Ferraris obviously had Ferraris.
Yeah.
Mercs had nice Mercs. What was it? Red Bull had Aston Martins.
Yeah.
And then
Now they have the
Renault just
Honda.
had
Now they have the Honda NSX as well. It's a really nice car.
what is that? Honda
NSX. It's a supercar.
NSX.
Oh, that's nice.
Then McLarens obviously had McLarens.
Yeah.
And then there was just Renault with
Williams
like
also got the
Renault,
Mercedes. Yeah.
Renault Clio or something.
Yeah, the Renaults, I felt so bad
Alfa
for them.
Romeos as well. Everybody has nice cars. Yeah.
Well, an Alpha
Haas took public
sort of
transport.
questionable.
No, I love the Alphas, dude. I love Alfa Romeo cars.
Really?
They're so nice. Alfa Romeo cars are like works of art. They're not supposed to be driven. You should just look at them. They're beautiful.
From a far away distance to where you almost can't see them. That's
No,
what I
no,
think.
no. Alfa Romeos are so
I tend to
nice.
agree.
No.
What's their company car for the F1 drivers? Do you know?
I think they have the Quadrifoglio. Quadrifoglio.
I like that on my pizza.
I think I know what you're talking about. Quadrifoglio. I think it means four
Quattro
cheese.
formaggio.
Yeah,
Quattro
four cheese. Yeah,
yeah, 4 cheese pizza. Okay, this just looks like a standard issue car. Like
what is a standard issue car? There's no such thing as a standard issue car.
you know, I think if you ask a kid to draw a car, he'll draw this. That's called
No.
a standard issue car.
I disagree. It's
It
nice.
looks like any other car.
No.
Like just
You
get
have
rid of the
Dhruv
get
just
rid of
has
the
some
Alfa Romeo diamond or triangle at the front, and then it's just a BMW.
yeah. Dhruv has this weird crush on Alfa Romeo, and it's pretty weird.
Dude, they're
Do you
nice.
still think it's the best livery?
Not the best. I think the best is Alpine.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still like Alfa Romeo's livery. It's a nice livery.
It's sus. It's sus.
Okay, anyways, let's keep moving. I think we've been stuck on
Let's
a
get
non
let's get
F1.
back to
Let's
Formula
get back to
One.
F1. Yeah. I almost started talking about whether you guys have seen the new BMWs because I kind of like them. But anyways, that's not. We can talk about that
Stop.
later.
That's a
We
bad
can
rabbit hole to go
we
down.
can let's talk about that another time. So the race itself, we've gone through qualifying. The race, when I saw Sergio get that engine failure at the beginning, I was like, I can't believe that this is his luck. Like, I can't believe that this is the way he has to start out. Sergio just seems like the unluckiest person
Dude,
to ever
Red
exist.
Bull second driver curse. It's a thing, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
yeah.
But he
Started
did
with
really
Daniel and all
well.
his DNFs.
He did very well.
Yeah.
Dude,
to go back up
how
to
did
fifth.
how did he start the car again? I just don't understand, because F1 cars, you need the thing that goes up the exhaust.
No,
To
that
start
you
it, right?
you can start it with the battery now. Ever since they had batteries in them, you can have a remote start.
Oh,
They have an electric
the
start. It's
more
like a,
you
you know,
know.
yeah.
The more
Can-
you know.
Can I just say that I read online about how people were like, okay, it is true that Sergio either has the best or the second best car on the grid.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, yeah, it's expected that he goes from 20th to 5th. Like,
Yeah.
it's normal. But you think back to last year, whenever Mercedes started, I think Bottas, which is also second driver, so it's fair enough comparison, I think. He was 20th in like some, I forgot what it was, like Italy, one of the Italy races. He went up like 5 grid slots. he did a terrible like push through the grid. It's just because the cars aren't built to push through it,
Yeah.
through dirty air.
Traffic.
So
Yeah.
even though Sergio had to go through dirty air, he still did really well.
Yeah.
How cocky is that though, to design the car in front and then and then not have it overtake well?
That is, I mean, fair enough, Mercedes. Like, they know what they have. They know that's the point you want to get to in life, you know? When you know you're so good, you don't need to prepare to do overtaking.
For the yeah, gosh, imagine.
Yeah.
And when you just exceed track limits 29 times and you just have no consequences.
Okay, I have to say that I am kind of on Mercedes side for this because, like, people keep saying that it wasn't clearly stated, right? But I think it was clearly stated up until the point that the stewards stopped letting it happen. So they said very clearly in practice and qualifying, you cannot exceed track limits at turn 4. Fine, fair enough. And people who exceeded track limits got their lap times deleted. That was perfect. And then before the race, they said you can exceed the track limits at turn 4, and we won't be checking that. So if they said that, then I think they should just stick to that, right? Why halfway through the race tell the drivers, oh, we don't feel so good about it anymore. You guys should start sticking to the track limits again. Because
But okay, if you have track limits in place or no track limits,
yeah,
does that allow a driver to overtake off track
No.
there?
no, it doesn't,
Yeah.
because that's gaining a lasting advantage. That's gaining an
Well,
advantage that is very concrete, whereas just gaining a
But you're
couple of
still
hundreds,
gaining an advantage if you're going off track.
you're gaining an
over
advantage,
29
but I don't
laps.
think it's like a lasting, right? Because if everyone can do it, then you're not gaining an advantage.
But not everyone's doing it.
But that's the driver's fault, not the steward's fault.
But that's as a driver, you're expected, especially if you're doing all your practice laps and all your quali laps
Yeah.
within these track limits. They're like, okay, like we should stay in these track limits. And
Yeah, but if the race
Okay.
stewards clearly tell you, okay, now we're
Okay.
allowing you in the race to go off, then you use
yeah,
it.
so okay, so now you're allowed to go off, then the
Yeah.
track essentially becomes wider, right?
Yeah.
Then why is overtaking outside that?
But it's not the track that
which is-
becomes wider. It's because it's still off track. You're still going off track. It's just that they won't penalize you for going off of it. They'll penalize you for overtaking off of it.
Yeah, I'm with Dhruv
But
on this one.
I don't understand the distinction, to be honest.
The distinction is like, okay, look,
Because
every
if I'm Verstappen and this is Lewis, I'm overtaking on the outside, and Lewis is anyway going off track. Where am I meant to go being Verstappen?
but that's racing. You can't just go off track. That's racing.
But if it's the whole race, you've been going off that point anyway, going off that track anyway. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just don't understand it.
It gets a bit
think
in the
like,
gray
it just-
area whenever
yeah.
it comes to the actual overtaking element,
yeah.
because
I just think that the steward should have been like clear, like just not change that rule halfway through.
Yeah,
because
Or
there are track
at the
limits
very
for a
beginning.
reason. You shouldn't go outside.
Yeah.
Why would they even say that in the first place? Why would they say, oh, these track limits at turn 4 don't matter?
Yeah, I think it was the issue at the beginning, not at the middle of it.
Yeah, I think that the drivers maybe complain because sometimes drivers will complain in the drivers briefing, and say that, like, when the tires are old and we're trying to get that extra lap time, then why like try and limit drivers lap time, or like like it if the drivers are going off of it and not completely messing up or spinning and stuff, and their lap times are increasing, then why not? Like it's not dangerous.
That's just like, why not cut quarters in everywhere?
Yeah,
That's
no, I get
that
it.
argument.
But I think it's like very specific scenarios. Like you can't apply that as a general rule anywhere. It's very case by case.
Yeah. I would prefer
but
I think if they just said
it just again
no
just
going off
seemed to
track.
benefit Lewis the whole time, because
Yeah,
he's like, Verstappen only started doing it way later.
yeah.
And fair enough, like, you'd be hesitant to start doing that because technically it's illegal. But
And
I don't
bet you
know.
Christian Horner was in the race office arguing it the whole time, which is why Verstappen didn't have the all clear to do it.
Yeah,
Because you can't argue it
Yeah.
if your own driver's doing it.
yeah. No, I definitely agree that it's very, very, very dumb for them to change that rule halfway through, and I think they should have just done one or the other, like not changed it. Like I think if they just said you will be penalized if you go off track. The only downside to that is that drivers will probably go off track at turn 4, and then they're just going to be handing out like so many penalties that it's just going to suck to watch.
But I
No,
don't think that they would be
drivers can
penalized.
control
Yeah.
themselves. Like, drivers,
Just
like,
break
take
earlier.
Singapore, Monaco, for example, Baku. You can't go off track because you would literally die.
Yeah.
And drivers can still manage to race there because they know how to drive, like, it's not like oh, like, it's not like they can't. It's just like they choose to because they gain an advantage.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
last year, I think we
saying...
raced on Bahrain without, like, with you can't go off track.
I don't remember what it was last year.
We still got some pretty good overtakes. I think when I remember them is George Russell overtaking Bottas was right there.
No,
So it's just
no,
like,
it was a bit earlier than that. It was in that squiggly bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so Dhruv, you think that they should like keep the rule consistent?
Yeah.
But like, so they should extend, so they should let drivers go off track.
I think they should have just let drivers go off track the entire weekend.
But then for overtaking, it's illegal?
Yeah. It just gets too complicated at that point.
I don't understand that.
Like, at what point does it become overtaking? Like, what if you're a second behind the guy? Does that mean the car in front can't go off track, or can he still? And
well,
okay, so what if you're going at the same, what if you're both together in line, or you're going into the turn, and your racing line is off track? Can you still take that line?
That's what I was saying. If Lewis was on the inside and he goes off track, then Verstappen has no choice as a person going from the outside to also, he has no choice. He has to go off track if Lewis's racing line is already off track. So like, I don't know.
But
it just
see,
doesn't make
at that
sense to
point,
me.
at that point, to add on to the fact that you can't gain a lasting advantage off track, they had already said that you cannot go off track anymore. So at that point, the rule was in place. Like, you will get a warning or a penalty if you go off track. So at that point, that limit came back in.
It just
So
doesn't
either
make
way, he
sense,
wouldn't
to have
be
the
able
rule in
to.
the first place. Or like, okay, so if let's say they could still have that rule, like that off track rule was still a thing. What if Lewis just goes to the edge of the track, knowing full well that
But they do that a
like-
lot. They do that in
like Max can
they
go
do
off
that in a
track.
ton of corners.
But
That's
then
that's how you
Max would be
overtake
forced.
it a lot. That Max will be forced out, and the drivers do that everywhere.
So, but then drivers, their reaction would usually be to stop and not go, like not overtake into that corner, or just go off track and then rejoin
So
behind them.
normally what happens is drivers are forced off track, but usually going off track slows you down.
Yeah, but then if technically going off track was legal, what stops Verstappen from just going off track and like making the move? Like, and I just don't understand. Why?
So
like, there's the racetrack and tarmac for a reason, and then there's the like the off track part for a reason. Like, like I don't know.
That's what I was just gonna say. We do in F1, it's track circuit racing. You're on the track. There's rally driving wherever you go off track. That's the whole point of rally driving.
So yes, okay. So let me. So my opinion is that if the rule was that you can go off track in the race, then they should have allowed off track overtaking. If the rule was to no longer be allowed to go off track, then they should not be allowed to overtake off track.
But they've done all of those options.
Yes, so that's the problem, and I'm still saying that the stewards were wrong in this situation. They're completely wrong to have all of the rules apply at the same time.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. I don't know. It makes no sense.
Anyways, okay, well, that ending was really exciting. With like I was very stressed for like the last 10 laps.
I was quite angry
just sad
whenever he had to give back the position.
like no, after he gave back the first position, I already knew like there's no chance Verstappen is gonna overtake us after that point, because like his tires were gone, there were not many laps left, and
I remember seeing that overtake. I remember seeing like as soon as he did the overtake and then Crofty was like, oh my god, he's done it. I knew. I was like, he's gone off track. Like there's no way that they're gonna let him keep that position because he did it off track. And then like that, my heart sank as soon as he did the overtake. And then that, but I still had hope afterwards. I hadn't lost it. I thought he would get back.
I was hopeful but pessimistic. I was a pessimistic, hopeful man. If that makes sense.
I was very optimistic that he would be able to do it again. So I like the last 2 laps. I was like, okay.
What do you think about his statement about like just give him the 5-second penalty? He would have made.
He would have gotten 10 seconds, not 5, for purposefully ignoring a instruction from the stewards. And I don't think he would be able to make up 5 seconds in 2 laps.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true.
But he said that he would rather lose that way. So I guess that's a different thing.
I mean, the fireworks are for you, so. You and Norris.
Yeah, well, no, but they were saying like he gave the position back in a really dumb spot.
Yeah.
In terms of,
Maybe if he
Losing
were to
the
do it again,
mistake.
he would give it back on like that final straight so that he could get DRS on the next one.
Yeah.
Mm,
Because he gave it away where after that straight you cannot overtake anywhere there. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. It was not the best place to give it back.
yeah. Well, next weekend
It is
or the
what it
weekend
is.
after, I'm sure. Let's
yeah.
talk about Bottas. Bottas is just what's happened to this guy? Like he's done after this year.
I can't really argue with that.
Yeah. He's done. There's no way
Okay.
that he's coming back.
Oh, won't that be exciting? Because then, okay, we don't really know if Hamilton will be staying on for another season. It's quite
He said he wanted to race the
50
new cars,
50. Oh, did he?
but a
Okay.
long time ago. I think before they had changed it to 2022. He had said that he really wanted to race the new generation of cars.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, Hamilton's quite unsure of whether or not he's going to stay. And Bottas is like, it's more of just when is he going to get the broomstick out and
Yeah.
sweep him out. So Mercedes will maybe have a fully new lineup next year, which I think is quite exciting.
So who is that? George and Ocon?
I don't know. Hopefully not.
Ocon and then Pierre to
I don't
Alpine?
think Ocon.
Pierre, maybe. That wouldn't
No,
be a
'cause-
Pierre
bad
to
one.
Pierre to Mercedes, yeah.
I don't think that's gonna
No,
happen.
I don't think Ocon. No, I don't think Ocon would go.
Because
out.
Toto is his manager, so why would he not?
Yeah, but like Toto is also realistic man with goals to win championships and stuff. And I don't think at the position Ocon is in right now, I don't think that's.
But there isn't
Yeah,
anyone
okay.
else because I'm sure they would want somebody at least a little bit.
Pierre.
Verstappen.
Verstappen, you think? I think Verstappen is stuck with Red Bull for a long time, and that's
Yeah,
gonna
especially
be
if this is
Yeah.
a good season this year, how we're kind of hoping that it will be, then Verstappen will probably stay.
And even if Verstappen wants to leave, that's a very expensive contract to buy. Because like Mercedes would have to buy out
Yeah.
Verstappen's contract, and Verstappen is not cheap.
They're a very rich team though.
Maybe
That's
Vettel.
true.
Hamilton is not cheap, bro.
Hamilton is not cheap, but like you would have to buy Verstappen's contract out from Red Bull and then pay him as well.
Yeah, how long is Verstappen?
I think it's till
In contract
2023 or 4 or something. I don't know.
Really that long?
Wow.
Yeah, I think he signed a
that's long.
4-year contract last year. I think it was.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
it's,
I'm assuming Perez's contract is only 1 year.
Yeah, that would probably be logical. Yeah.
hmm.
And Lewis only signed a 1-year contract.
Yeah, I know about this.
So, and then George is I think no matter what, George is moving up this season.
He needs to.
Yeah. 3 years in a really slow car at the back of the grid is not doing him any good.
Like,
So,
Yeah, plus
he's not getting
when
old,
he-
but
Yeah.
he needs
No,
to
but
move
plus when he replaced Lewis, that like he did well, like he did really
Yeah,
well. So like
he did.
it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Uh, have you seen the pictures of the new like wheel rims
Yeah, I like them.
for 20?
They look good.
Dude, yeah, like in the renders, I didn't like them at all, but
No, neither.
they actually look really nice.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean by is?
There's the
The
new
18-inch wheels.
18-inch rims, yeah.
Oh, just the new wheels, not.
No, it's
Oh.
just they're testing. Pirelli is testing the new wheels for next year.
Mate, those have been on the F2 since last season.
Yeah, but they don't look good on the F2.
Really? I think.
No,
they
I
look
don't like
fine.
them on the F2.
They look a
I
bit
think the F2
strange.
cars are a little bit odd in general.
No, I
And
think F2 is just a bit too confusing with all the different teams, and then all the teams have different colors because it's more about which
Sponsors. Yeah.
sponsors the drivers have, and it's like, wait, so there are 3 Red Bulls now? and they're all on different teams.
Yeah, and there are 3 Ferraris as well. At least last year
Yeah.
they were. Yeah.
I think they're 4 this season actually.
Jeez. I'm interested to see what Ferrari does because they have so many new drivers coming in. Like they have really good all drivers that need a spot because there's Charles, Mick, Robert Schwartzman, Callum Ilott,
Marcus Armstrong.
Marcus Armstrong, Yuri Vips is Red Bull, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Red Bull.
Yeah, but they have a lot of talent to sort out.
Yeah, they do. They're maybe they can have a third team in F1.
Hey, I mean, you never know. Like Red Bull has 2 teams. What if Ferrari launches its
Yeah,
junior
but the
team?
thing is, Red Bull's 2 teams are actually good. Ferrari's
Ferrari
bit
basically
iffy.
runs like Haas and Alpha as their second teams anyway. So
Yeah, that's true.
I rather have Alpha Tauri and Red Bull.
yeah, they're definitely like AlphaTauri and Red Bull are very like. I am excited to see the day that AlphaTauri beats the Red Bull.
Well, PR did win
Italy.
Monza, so
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like a legitimately win, like not because they have a
hey.
Wasn't
Hey, now.
Sebastian Vettel? I don't know whenever his
in
debut
Toro
was.
Rosso 2008.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Was that a
won it.
legitimate win or was that?
Yeah, that was.
I didn't watch it. Oh, so it was legitimate. Okay.
Yeah, that
There
was
you go.
legitimate.
So that was
yeah.
one.
That was yeah.
The day came and passed me. You missed it.
I was 8. I can't. I don't think I can do that much about that. Yeah. Anything else we want to go over?
No. I just want to briefly say, I'm not a big fan of the new F2 format.
What is the new F2 format? It's like 4 races now, right?
3 races.
3.
So you do a qualifying, which has always been boring, so nobody ever watches that, or I don't at least. Qualifying, then the first race is reverse order for the top 10 in qualifying, and then the bottom 10 are the same. And then the second race is reverse order of the top 10 of the first race. And then the third race is the actual qualifying order race.
And the last race is the one with the most points, right?
Yeah, and the last race is worth the most.
And then the other 2 are just like half points or like less points.
15 is the top versus the last one 25.
Okay.
Yeah. But
interesting.
Now, because of the 3 races, I think that they cut down on the season, like the amount of races.
It's really low.
I feel like there were there's only 8.
Yeah,
I think
and
last
like
year
the
there was
next
like
race
12.
is in like 2 months or something.
It's in 2 months.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing over the weekend and was like, oh my God, this is so much to watch right now. And then I look at when the next one is, and it's in 2 months. So I should have just spaced it out. Now I'm gonna forget everything by the next race.
Yeah, it's weird. Hey, also, how they're testing sprint qualifying this season? Do you guys hear about this? Yeah, they're gonna do a.
Do you know
no,
when
in F1.
they're doing that?
In F1, they're doing sprint qualifying.
For which?
How does that work?
Which
so
circuits
you
are they
have
doing that for?
I don't know about what circuit it is. I think maybe Portimao is one of them, maybe. I'm not sure. But basically you have like it's gonna be like a 10-lap race, reverse championship order.
Wow. And how many laps? Oh, 10 laps.
10 laps.
But that's nothing. That's actually nothing.
Yeah.
Like Verstappen was stuck behind Lewis for way more laps than that.
Yeah.
Don't quote
But
me on
that's
that.
gonna be very interesting to watch, I think, because like, can you imagine like Mazepin starting in pole position? Like,
How do you decide who gets pole if I'm assuming both Williams and both Haas's will have 0 points?
It's how many it's like what position you come in. So if you come in if you have 0 points but you come in 11th and you have 0 points and you come in 12th, The 11th guy
okay.
is higher.
Okay, so Mazepin is going to be pole position.
Yeah,
As of right now.
as of right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to see that. I think it'll be interesting.
All right. Yeah.
I see.
Are they doing a Vietnam race? Or has that been canceled?
I'm
not
not
sure.
sure.
No, it's been canceled. Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I really don't like Vietnam in F1 like 2020 at least, like the game. I
Why?
hate it. I hate the track. It sucks.
I
Me
like
too.
it. It's
I
fun
agree.
to drive.
No, it's not fun to
No.
drive at all. It is very
It's 'cause you
confusing.
suck.
It's not because I suck. I think
Not
it's
because
just-
you suck.
Farhan, I'm not sure you were one to talk about being bad at the F1 game.
Listen,
It has been humiliating playing with you.
Yeah.
It is
Listen.
really bad.
there's a clear advantage to using controllers.
There's no advantage.
You should learn to drive like a real person.
You
Just
have all
saying.
the assists turned on. And I
No, I
still-
don't. I don't.
What did you turn on? You have ABS off, which I can respect. But
I have everything off now. I've improved.
Racing line?
Oh,
no, okay, racing line. Why would you
Even
turn off
Dhruv
racing
has
line?
racing
Yeah,
line.
I turned racing line on.
Okay.
I need racing line because then you have to learn the braking points, and I just can't be bothered with that.
Yeah, that one's a bit too much to learn. I can understand that.
Yeah,
We
I
get it,
haven't-
Marcus. You're so
yeah.
cool.
Spend all your free time.
I am really cool. Thank you, Farhan.
You should try and qualify for F1 esports team quadrant.
Yo, I was thinking about doing that. I was saying maybe I should commit like a whole week just to practicing for that. But I decided it's probably not worth my time.
Yeah, and then he would show up to the actual race, and there would be steering wheels, and you'd be like,
And I
I
bring my PS4 controller and be like, please, can I hug this up instead?
Yeah. All right. We've reached about the hour, or just a little bit under the hour mark. So I think this is a good spot to leave it. I think we've been having a good time here at F1 Fix. Our last episode was a month ago, so maybe this will be our new schedule, 1 month, one episode per month, which is, I think, it's not bad.
That's not bad.
For our estimated 9 people that listen to this regularly. I hope everyone has been enjoying our content, and we will see you next month. Bye-bye.
Ciao.